Welcome back to part 2. So now we're going to draw the sunflower. As you can see, I have it laid out. What I do want to do for these petals right here is do the majority of them in yellow. So I'm going to start taking out yellow. Yellow right here. And then for the kind of tips, I do want to do either yellow orange or a darker orange. And then same for the middle parts right here. So I'm going to find that. Here is yellow orange. And then I'm going to find orange as well. We have orange. And then I do want to do a bit of brown right here in the middle. Let me find some brown. Here we have some brown. And then for the stem of this, I do want to do green, but I also want to do light green for part of it. So here I have regular green, and then let me see if I could find a lighter version of green. Somewhere in here. I think I might even use yellow green to create that lighter effect. And then around the edges of the petals, so that it goes outward, I think I want to do purple. And that's going to blend over to dark blue. And then after the dark blue, I'll do the rest of it in sky blue or light blue. We have light blue. And then we have periwinkle. So I might actually use periwinkle. I like how that blue looks a little better. Okay. So now that I have my color set up and an idea of what I want to do, I'm going to start with the yellow for the petals. I'm going to start with yellow. Just making tiny little dots. Again, this is going to take a while because you want to try to fill it in as much as possible. So here we have the first petal. As you can see, it's really light, so I'm going to go over it again. Try to fill in a little bit more of the dots, the empty spaces. I don't know if you guys were able to notice the difference, but I did turn on the light, so it did kind of, help with the little lights right here. I'm going to continue with the yellow. It does help to have your pencil sharpened. So make sure your pencils are sharpened so that it's not dull and you have greater control over how many dots and where you want the dots. Again, if you see a little bit of white space, try to fill it in with as many dots as possible. So I'll use this area to demonstrate before I continue with the rest of it. And then I'll go over it with the orange along the edges. You have the edges that you're doing in a contrasting color, so it adds depth to it and contrast to it. And I'm going to add a bit of the darker orange right here. As you can see, it's taking on a bit of a little effect. I don't know how well the camera might showcase that, but it's beginning to blend a little bit. Same over here. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the stem just so you can see that as well. Again, try to get those dots as close as possible. It might even help to tap, depending on how okay your parents might be with you tapping and making those noises. Again, be careful with the area that you're working on. You don't want to create holes in it either. A lot faster, but you do have a little bit less control over where the dots are going. And if you do notice, there's a bit, instead it's kind of more like a line. If your pencil does start to get a little bit eroded and it kind of turns flat, you're going to start getting those lines compared to the dots. So just something to keep in mind. You can continue to rotate the pencil as you're working on it, and that's going to create, or that's going to help it stay flat or completely rounded.